Hi, if you're new here, I'm Izzy and I'm both a freelance illustrator and software developer. Over the years, I've been asked a lot how I manage both careers and stay organized with so many tasks to do and so little time to get them done. So today, I'm finally going to spill all the tea on how I juggle both without losing my mind. I started my software development career right after graduating in computer science and engineering in 2019, which also answers another question I get a lot. No, I never went to art school. Everything I know about art, I either taught myself or learned from my dad and grandma, who introduced me to drawing when I was old enough to hold a pencil, basically. Unfortunately, as we all know, a career in art has never been seen as a stable option. There's always been this stereotype of the starving artist pursuing an impossible career that wouldn't pay the bills. And that mindset led me to disregard art as a career path and instead pursue something safer, like computer science, which promised a steady job. In the first few months of working as a software developer, I had to commute to my office. It wasn't close to where I lived, so I was basically wasting 4 hours a day commuting, taking a bus, a train, and then a subway twice a day, and it was exhausting. During that time, I tried to draw whenever I could, on breaks, during lunch, on train rides, and even after dinner. I didn't have a Patreon or a YouTube channel back then, but I did have an online shop that was always open. I took on private commissions and I managed my Instagram account, which might not seem like much, but if you know, you know. Eventually, I felt the burnout coming, so I had to close my shop because I couldn't keep up with everything anymore. And then, all of a sudden, everything changed. In February 2020, COVID hit. I immediately started working remotely, and I still am after 5 years. Working from home has allowed me to regain those 4 hours a day that I was spending commuting. This gave me more time to actually think about new paths to explore. And that eventually led me to launch my Patreon in March 2022, which is a dream I'd had for years. I also started posting consistently on YouTube. I reopened my shop this past February and have been able to grow a lot on Instagram by showing up regularly again. I also shifted from personal commissions to commercial projects that feel more aligned with who I am and my goals and are a lot more sustainable for me. People often ask me if I plan to quit my full-time job to become a full-time illustrator eventually, and the honest answer is I do not know. I love being an illustrator, but I also genuinely love coding, and I'm afraid if I turn illustration into my only job, I would feel too much pressure and I would stop enjoying it as much. Not to mention, I would definitely miss programming. For now, remote work gives me the freedom to do both, so it's working perfectly for me. If that were ever to change though, I would obviously need to rethink my balance somehow. What I want to point out though is that working from home is not necessary to be able to handle both jobs. I think the key is knowing your limits and setting realistic expectations while staying efficient and organized and trying to waste as little time as possible on every single task. One thing that really helps me stay efficient, especially since I have a very limited amount of time on my hands, is using the right tools. Whether it's for client projects or designs for my own branding, shop, Patreon, or YouTube. After experimenting with various tools and platforms, around a year ago, I finally found the perfect one that allows me to create professional quality designs very quickly and without the complexity of traditional software. I'm talking about Kittl, who's kindly sponsoring this portion of the video. I'm super excited because they just released a set of very cool features, including vector design and real-time collaboration that are going to be super helpful for artists like me. I don't know if you remember my project for The Hidden Door, which was a mock cover I designed for a graphic novel a few months ago. I made the illustration in Procreate and then imported it in Kittl, where I designed the rest of the cover. I made 6 different variations of it and then picked design number 5 as the final one because I really liked the font for the title. But I remember thinking that I would have loved to be able to apply some slight changes to it, especially to the H and the D, since they were the first letters of every word. I tried doing that in Procreate, but since it's not tailored to vector art, it didn't really work and I let it go eventually. But now with Kittl's new shape builder and vector path editing, I could do this super easily. Shape builder allows you to combine or subtract shapes and create something entirely new, and I could use that to combine the text. I'm going to increase the border weight again to like around 35 to match the other one that I had before. Now we have the text into one single shape, and we can double click on it to activate a vector path editing, which allows you to click into any shape or SVG and adjust its nodes and handles to have more control over the design. So this way I can play around a little with the H and D, as I was saying before. You can double click on a node to make it curved, and you can also create new nodes by double clicking anywhere on the line. Another thing I did in Procreate was adding the little lock door inside the D. But now with Kittl's shape tools and pen tool, I could do this directly here without having to export or import anything. And the design will look a lot more cohesive. The shape tool here allows you to quickly draw rectangles, ellipses, polygons, and stars. So I could use that to draw this circle. Then I could switch to the pen tool that lets you draw custom vector paths, curves, and straight lines with precision. So I can use that to create the shape underneath the circle, basically. You can fill this shape up using the color tool up here. So now we have 2 elements and we can combine them using the shape builder like we did before for the text. And now we have our door lock. I'm going to quickly color in the D with the pen tool again. And then I'm going to add the door lock in the middle of it. And then I'm going to use the shape tool again to subtract the door lock from the white filling for the D. And this is the final result, which is a lot better actually than what I did in Procreate, because you can see the jagged edge of my brush. While doing this inside Kittl makes the whole process much more straightforward and fast, and everything looks a lot more cohesive. These tools can also be very useful, for example, to create logos for your online store or website, or even create custom branding, icons, etc. And what's even cooler is that with Kittl's new collaboration tools, you can now share your design with anyone by either typing in their email address here or sharing a direct link. So let's say I designed this cover for a client and I want to share it with them, but I don't want them to be able to edit it. I could send them the project through email by setting the right permission, so only can view. I can do that with the link as well. Then once they receive the link, they can also add comments to it. Then you can go ahead and read their comments, you can reply, and you can mark the comment as resolved. And this streamlined feedback with comments, suggestions, and approvals directly in the project makes the whole process a lot faster and easier. I'm definitely going to play around and have fun with the new features some more in the next weeks. If you want to try out Kittl as well, just follow the link in my description. And if you're a new user, you can use the code AGOSTIYT for 25% off your first month or year of any paid plan. Something else that helps me stay efficient is thoroughly organizing my monthly, weekly, and daily tasks and content in general. There are many tools that help you do this. My current favorite is Notion that I've been using for years now, but you can use whatever works best for you. To give you an overall idea of how I organize my tasks, let's take a quick look at my Notion workspace. On the left, I have my favorite pages saved. I have my 2025 goals. I got this template from Jules Acre and then modified it a little to match my own needs. I have all the goals for this year. Some are already done, some are in progress, some I haven't started yet. I have the word for 2025. I have some quick pages for supporting action and New Year challenge, and these are my supporting actions on the right. The cover of this page is my 2025 vision board, and I use this template to track my goals for 2025 and have a precise vision of what I want to achieve. The supporting actions are divided in months, so I know what to achieve each month, and I go back to this template basically every week or every couple of weeks. So if you open a goal, for example, you have all the supporting action under here. I've read 3 books already in February, March, and April, and in May I started a new one, which is Fourth Wing, by the way. I'm currently at 90%. I'm almost done with it. Other than that, I set some other goals, both professional and personal. And here I divided them in quarters. So in quarter 1, I want to achieve the first 5. Then I have one for quarter 2. And then I have another 5 that I want to reach in quarter 4. So at the end of the year, I'm gonna check that I reached these goals. Then I have some other favorite pages. I'm not gonna go into all of them because otherwise this would take too long. I have one for my shop, one for my packaging, one for my clay. I have the spring collection saved, so I know the dimensions and weights and how to create the colors for each item. Then I usually keep the current videos I'm working on either for YouTube or Patreon here in my favorites as well. At the moment, I am filming this video, so I have it in my favorites. I have the video meta here, the content, and the launch checklist. I usually write a script only for the videos that really need it, not for studio vlogs or more free videos. Then other than my favorite pages on the left, we have the private pages. I'm not gonna go into all of these, also for privacy reasons, but I basically have my dashboard here containing all of my pages, and then the main page that I wanted to talk about is tasks and content. This is the page that I check every day, multiple times a day, to get all of my tasks and to-dos and content done. This page is composed of different databases. I have one for my tasks that you can see here in the upper left corner. Here are my tasks for the day. I need to solve a shop issue with Meta because I'm trying to sell on Instagram too, but I haven't been cleared to do that yet. I need to start designing the summer collection for my shop. I haven't started that yet. Then tonight I'm gonna go watch Thunderbolts at the movie theater. I need to keep track of all of my events, otherwise I forget about them. Then under my tasks for the day, I have the content that I have to prepare for the day, which is designing goodie bags for Patreon. It's in progress because I am currently working on the A6 print, and then I also need to design the sticker. And then I'm filming this video for YouTube. Then under here, I have the sponsors for my videos and posts. Currently, I am working with Kittle. And then here on the right, I have the same database for the content, but in different types of views. I have the weekly view here, so I get a clear idea of all the content that I have to prepare for the entire week. As you can see, I need to work on designing the goodie bags for the entire week. I'm working on this video today and tomorrow. I need to pack goodie bags and order packing material once I finish packing the goodie bags, but I need to wait for the stickers to arrive, and they're not probably gonna be here tomorrow, so I'm gonna move this to Thursday at least. I need to edit a new witch reel for Instagram, and I also use this to prepare the caption of the post as well, and also the different hashtags that I have to use. Then on Thursday I have to prepare a time-lapse video for Patreon as well, and then on Friday I really want to prepare a new reel about the entire new spring collection that I launched in February. Other than the weekly view, I have the monthly one, which is a little bit more messy. I don't always check this. I always prefer to check the single platforms. So for example, I have a view for only Patreon here, where I can see the content that I have to post for the entire month only on Patreon. So I can design goodie bags until May 16th. Next week, I need to post a newsletter and reply to messages on Monday, and then also start working on the exclusive video of the month. I need to prepare a layered file and so on. This is all of the content that I'm going to share on Patreon for the month of May. In the YouTube tab, I have a list of all of the videos that I have already published and the ones that are in progress, with the review date, if I have a sponsor, the publish date, the video title, the type of video so that I know which playlist to put the video in, the sponsor for that video, and if I already signed a contract. In the Instagram tab, it's a similar thing to the Patreon tab, but only for posts and reels, obviously. For this week, I have 2 reels planned that I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to make. I have some more ideas here that I still have to place around the month, but my main ideas are contained in this other tab for all of the different platforms. I have some new ideas for YouTube videos, for IG posts and reels, and for Patreon video tutorials. I usually prepare my content every week for Instagram and every month for Patreon. For YouTube, I like to wing it a little bit more, unless I have to prepare a specific video like this one. So this is my tasks and content page where I organize and handle all of my tasks and content for the day, week, and month. Then on the left, we have some other pages. I've got some projects that I can't tell you about yet, my finances that I'm not gonna open either, the parcels that are arriving because I like to keep track of everything that I buy, otherwise I forget. I have the books page. This I can show you. I have all the books that I want to read, in progress, reading, and already read. I could keep this a little bit more updated because there are a lot more books that I want to read, but I keep track of those on Goodreads. Then I have the events that I want to attend. I have some notes, my software developer job stuff, some miscellaneous items, Mocha's information about training and healthcare and things like that, my meal planner with all my favorite meals, every recipe that I use, etc., some home stuff, and some gifts ideas where I like to jot down new ideas that I get for different people so that I don't forget. Now that you've seen how I organize my life, I want to quickly share some tips and lessons that I've learned along the way and that might be helpful to you too. First, something I'm still working on but trying to improve is learning to ask for help when needed. I've always been someone who likes to do everything on my own just to prove I can, and also because I don't like depending on others. But having help when the workload is overwhelming is a huge stress reliever and makes everything go much faster. For example, my dad sometimes helped me prepare packaging materials for my shop orders in advance, so I don't arrive completely unprepared whenever I have to pack something. We prepare a backing cardboard for prints, tissue paper of different sizes, mystery bags, etc. Also, if I ever get to the point where I'm overwhelmed with clay orders, I could definitely ask him to help me condition the clay too. So ask for help if you can. Don't be afraid. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Another lesson I've learned through trial and error is to increase your workload gradually, not all at once. If one day you wake up and you decide you want to try something new, like I did with Patreon in 2022 and with YouTube last year, make sure to not start too many things at once. Add one thing at a time and try it for a few months to see if you can handle it. Then if you see you can keep up and you still have some energy left, you can try and add something else. This approach will keep you from burning out and will make everything much more enjoyable. So don't rush it. Remember that slow growth is still growth. Finally, last but not least, make sure to take time for yourself. Creativity doesn't just come from discipline, it comes from rest too. Whenever I plan my tasks for the week, I always make sure to set aside some time for things I enjoy doing, like reading books, going on hikes, and playing video games. These activities are just as important because they help me recharge, clear my mind, and feel inspired again. So that's how I organize my life as a full-time software developer and freelance illustrator. I feel very lucky to be able to work from home. I'm aware that not everyone can do that. Still, I don't think it's necessary to handle both jobs. The key is more in knowing your limits and setting realistic expectations. Find what works for you, stay organized, set clear tasks and boundaries, take breaks, and don't be afraid to pivot if something isn't working for you anymore. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment. I would love to hear if any of you guys also juggle multiple passions and how you balance them. It would be great to have some more insight into the topic. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.